Welcome to Elevated Women, the podcast where energetics meets strategy and wealth becomes who you are. I'm your host, Myra Swankotze, subconscious reprogramming master, energetics mentor, multi-seven-figure coach, and Brain's 500 global honoree for my work in conscious business leadership. This space is your portal, a frequency upgrade for the woman who's done shrinking and ready to claim everything she came for. Let's melt the old patterns, rewire your money story, and build a wildly aligned business from your highest self. This is your next evolution. Let's begin. You're listening to Elevated Table Talks. These are the unfiltered conversations with women who build from soul, scale with clarity, and move with purpose. Welcome to Elevated Women. Today I'm joined by someone who truly embodies what it means to be led by purpose and anchored in soul. Dina Marais is the founder of Soul Purpose Publishing and Coaching. She's a 7-time international best-selling author and has helped countless women become best-selling authors themselves. She's also a quantum human design coach, guiding women into deeper self-love, alignment, and divine success. In this conversation, we're exploring the power of storytelling, publishing, and saying yes to your voice being heard in a bigger way. Welcome to Elevated Women, Dina. I'm so excited about this conversation.
Thank you, Myra. I'm really so excited to be here with you.
Thank you. I am really excited about this because today our conversation is really going to go deeper into getting your voice heard in a bigger way. So for all our listeners, stick to the end of this episode. I promise you it's going to be on fire. Dina, what first called you to write your story and become a published author?
Well, this was actually in 2017. I was in a part of a summit by an amazing woman called Placida Achero. And she actually did an anthology, and she invited us all to be part of it. And it was called Love Unboxed. Very beautiful. And I wrote about self-love. So it was always been my signature, in coaching, is talking about self-love. And yeah, that was my first taste. And, I did the book and, forgot about it. And then later, leading into, Soul Purpose Publishing, many years later.
And how did that come about? What made you decide to become a publisher?
Again, that didn't cross my mind until it happened. So many years before that, I read the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, and I know everybody knows that book. It made such an impression on me. And I made a wish to the universe, and I said, I want to write stories like this to inspire people. And of course, totally forgot about it. And then in 2020, I think it was 2021, I had this friend who invited me to a masterclass. And of course, I'm absolutely always so curious. So I said, well, let me go and try it out. And he said actually how to start your publishing business. I was blown away. I had such a reaction in my body. It was just everything said, yes, this is me. It just suits me. Everything is still today. It's just everything about me. It's just beautiful. And I immediately knew this was for me. But of course, I didn't have the money. I didn't have the money to pay for the course. So, went on with life. And then a few months later, again, this came past. And again, I wasn't ready. Then the third time, it's like my soul said, listen, this is it. Sign up now. So, so I did, and I never looked back. It was one of the best decisions I've ever made, to start Soul Purpose Publishing.
That is such a beautiful story, how it came back to you 3 times before it actually happened. So for those women that are listening, don't give up on your dreams. This is such a beautiful and powerful way that Dina has shared here with us, that her soul's wish has come true. So don't give up, ladies. Just keep at it. It's going to happen for you too. So what makes your approach so unique to traditional publishing?
Well, actually, if you think about it, self-publishing and indie publishing has really opened up the publishing industry. Before it was, you could only get published through traditional publishing, a traditional publisher, and of course you have to pitch your scripts and hope they accept it. And nowadays, you don't need permission from anybody to publish your book. You need an indie publisher, you can do it yourself. And that is the beautiful thing about the way of indie publishers, is that we provide a full service. I provide a full service. I customize to your needs. Whether you've written your book or not, and you want to still write it with me, I have a program. If you have written it, but you need editing and you need formatting and a cover design, and to know exactly how to publish it, because that's quite tricky as well. Do you want bestseller? All of those things play a role in the publishing world. But a few key differences is that, with a traditional publisher, of course, it's a hell of an ego thing if you get a book deal. But you have to know that you lose the rights to your book. The traditional publisher takes the rights, it's theirs. And they can tell you, listen, we'll only publish if you change that and that and that and that and that and that. And often your story loses the heart, of what it is that you wanted to say. It can happen. I'm not saying it's always the case. And then you get a commission from the publisher. They pay you a commission of part of the royalties, because then I can understand that they'll also only work with you if you have a huge audience, because they want to milk your audience to buy your book before they can market it. So things like that. The indie publisher like myself, I publish your book under your name, not my name. You own all the rights. You get the royalties directly from Amazon. You pay me to publish your book, but after that, it's all yours. And there's still what I've heard quite a few times of indie publishers, and so you must be careful when you look for a publisher. Do you own the rights or do they own the rights? Because I've heard of people who have written a book, the publisher has published the book and they've lost the rights, and the book does nothing. They don't sell the book or anything, but they can't get the book. So be careful when you publish with someone, that you make sure that you own the rights and you get your royalties directly from Amazon, and not a commission from the publisher. The publisher shouldn't make any money after your book has been published. The multi-author books, people own their chapter. It's their copy. They can do with it what they want. Soul Purpose Publishing owns the book as a whole. Has copyright on the book as a whole. But I encourage my authors, it's your story. Go and do with it what you want. Because it comes from you, I don't own that. It's your beautiful words. Yeah, so I have different programs in that regard. I have a year-long program where you can write your book with me, write and publish your book with me. We have writing sessions, 3 of them, once per week for 3 weeks of the month. And then as bonus, I help you to create your program, your course. We make it a bestseller, that it's definitely, published well. And yeah, it's a beautiful experience.
It sounds like it. It really does. Especially that you help your clients to still create a course as well. That year-long program sounds amazing.
Is rather amazing. Yeah. You have about 6 months or 9 months to write your book. And then we take 3 months, when the book goes for editing, because that's quite a process. And while that's happening, we design the cover, we create a course. You create a course. I give you a program on how to do that. But I'm always there. I hold your hand all the way through.
That's so nice. Okay, so ladies, now you know where you can go if you want to write your first book. What would you say to someone who feels that she's called to share her story, but doesn't feel quite ready or important enough?
Well, that's just imposter syndrome. You wouldn't even think about writing your story if you didn't have it in your vibration already. So it's just your mind telling you that it may not be good enough. That's nonsense. All the stories are important and all the stories need to be shared. And that's why we have editors. There is not one author that's published in this world that doesn't have an editor. So write from your heart and the rest gets taken care of. I personally read every story that is sent to me. I give you first-hand feedback to make sure that your story, fulfills the promise of the book. I let you know if I read it and I see gaps, and I ask you questions to make it better. And this process can sometimes go 3, 4, 5 rounds before the story is ready to be sent to the editor. So I don't actually know of any other publisher that does this, multi-authors, to read every story.
I was just going to say, where you find the time to read every single story?
I make the time. Because it's important.
I was just going to say that it's important, isn't it? It's that very hands-on, very caring attitude or outlook in life that makes the difference in a business, doesn't it?
It does. I really care that every author really feels when they look back and they read that story again, that they think, wow, this is great. I'm proud to put my name on it. Oh, I'm proud that my story is in this book. Yeah, and the other thing is that, I prefer it messy rather than trying to use AI to edit your story, and write it better. No, it loses its heart. I started to warm up to AI as an assistant and a search engine, but it's not a writer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you don't like your contributors in their books to use AI to polish their wording. You prefer it raw and real, and like you said, a little messy sometimes.
Rather that. We can work with that. But if it arrives and it's so perfect, then I just know AI was involved here. And sometimes I send it back, and I now announce I don't work with you if you use AI.
Okay.
I want
Why?
your story because it loses its heart. AI doesn't have soul.
Mm,
I want you to write your story from your heart, as you would
okay.
tell it to a friend, not the perfect grammar and the perfect this and the perfect that. And no, it's not what it's about. And the
Mm.
reader can sense it.
Good. I wanted to ask you that question because I've seen you even posted something on Facebook around using AI to write your stories for you. And I think I've seen on your website as well that you talk about this, that you should not use AI to write your stories for you. So that's why I wanted to ask you why. I love that it has to come from soul. It is a deeper connection that we create that, like you said, AI doesn't have a soul, does it?
No, no, it doesn't.
Hey. Um, My next question is, can you walk us through how the multi-author book process works and what makes it such a beautiful first step for new authors?
It is a beautiful step for first authors, and so many authors actually do it over and over and over again because it's a beautiful experience. But yeah, so what happens is there are many multi-author books, that are out there that you can write a chapter for. The main thing at first is that you are able to fulfill the promise of the book. So the book has a title and then it has a subtitle, and the subtitle normally describes what the book is about. So if you have a story, that follows the theme of the book, then that's first prize. That you're already there. So there are different options that you can sign up to. And that differs from book to book and publisher to publisher. I normally have three options, and every option gives you the number of words for that chapter and buy how long can your bio be, the how many links can you have, because it's like you're writing also a bit of an advertorial for yourself in a multi-author book, because you write how you help people uh, as part of your chapter. And then you sign up, and then we welcome you to the group. And I always ask my authors about 2 or 3 weeks after you sign up is that please have the first draft of your story. Doesn't have to be perfect. Please don't let it be perfect. Just send me your first draft and I can see what you write and I give you feedback. And very rarely does someone write a story that I think, wow, this is so beautiful. You don't have to change anything. Um, Mostly it's about helping the author by asking them questions. Rather, don't focus on that. Focus more on this, because I know what
Mhm.
the reader is looking for, and I want the author to write their best story. So the stories come in, and they start going to the editor. The editor edits it, and then we send it back to the author to accept or reject the changes. And this is important because sometimes we write something in a way that that's the way. Otherwise, if you change something, it loses the meaning that the author
Mm.
intended. So it's your right. You can say, no, I don't accept this change or that change or whatever. But once that is all taken care of, then it goes to the formatter. And the formatter formats the book, put all the chapters together and everything. And we have the cover design. We actually have the cover designed up front nowadays. And in that time, what happens while everybody's written their stories, and of course we have meetings every week. People come and they go and they come back, and so it goes. And then I then also help them by to prepare their business for the launch of the book. What is their lead magnet like? Do they have a program? Are they going to launch a program? What is the thing that they're going to do to make the most of the book? Because this goes for whether it's a solo book or a multi-author book, doesn't matter, is that publishing, having your book published is the beginning, it's not the end. You have to leverage your story. You have to have something on the back end. And I always suggest first have a free masterclass and then you sell them up to your program. But yeah, so prepare your business. I also have a speaker sheet, because once you are a best-selling author, then higher level podcasts open up. Those doors open. Summit becomes available because now you have something. I put myself out there. I am a best-selling author, so it gives you incredible credibility and visibility in your niche, and of course, so much confidence and clarity about what you do. It's a hell of a thrill. So about 6 weeks before we launch, I tell everybody, okay, in cats, now you can come back to the meetings again. We're going to have the launch plan. So I provide a launch plan so that everybody knows exactly what's going on. Very organized. This is the launch date. Make sure you got your stuff in order. And then, and then we have the launch, normally on a Friday. It's a hell of a thrill. It's the most incredible feeling when you see that book climbing up, and climbing up, and now it's number 5, and now it's number 4. It's really like winning the lottery, when it happens. And then we have a party to celebrate that, and everyone always also buys the book for 99 cents, because they always launch the ebook first for 99 cents. So that it's more to support the authors in that, because many people don't want the ebook, they want the paperback. But we ask here, please, can you please spend 99 US cents so that you can support the authors. And then every author over that weekend, they read through their chapter and see, because their aunt is going to phone them and say, did you know that there's a full stop missing at I number 3? It always happens. So then we go back and we correct all the mistakes. Or sometimes the link doesn't work. They've given the wrong link. Anything like that can happen. So in the next week, we publish the final version of the ebook. And then about a week later or so, we publish the paperback. And then we it's like a mini launch again, telling people, oh, the paperback is now available. And the authors can order their books. So it's a wonderful experience. It's also a beautiful community of all these beautiful women coming together. They have different but the same kind of stories. And there's a lot of camaraderie and lifelong friendships that are forged, and collaborations among them. Yeah, that's it. Then it's done.
It sounds like the multi-author book is a lot more fun than writing your book on your own.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you're beginning, if it's your first time writing, it sounds like the multi-author book is a lot more fun. Okay, now I want to reveal to our audience that you are currently enrolling co-authors for Divine Rebirth and Miracles Are Normal. Can you share a little bit more about each of these books and who they're really for?
With pleasure.
I like those names, by the way.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? So Divine Rebirth, the subtitle, remember I said that the subtitle always describes the book. So the subtitle of Divine Rebirth says stories of spiritual awakening, surrender, and rebirth. This is an up to 25 author book, and the chapters range from 2,500 words up to 4,000 words. And it's really a story about your spiritual awakening, and that can be, it's obviously a huge transformation, something that happened in your life that that changed your life, that changed you, that changed the trajectory of your life. So, so the aim of this book is to show people that they're not crazy when things start going wrong in their life. There's probably a spiritual awakening happening, because for me, it's like our lives are disrupted by design. And if you look at, at what I do with quantum human design, it's definitely in the story. So it's really about describing that, so that because often what happens most of the time is, as coaches and healers and light workers, spiritual entrepreneurs, we find our life, our soul purpose by something that we go through, that we overcome. And of course, naturally for us, we help others to go through that. And what the story does is to tell that story of how that was for you. What was your experience? How did you come out on the other side? Because the idea of the multi-author chapter is to show the reader that you have been where they are now, and that you can lead them to where they want to be. And so that those are stories. It can be the dark night of the soul. I have stories of someone who does shape shifting now, and another lady who she just gave up. When she saw herself, she was lying on the floor. Just thought of herself, if I die tonight, I really wouldn't mind. Even if I had two young children, I'm sure they will be taken care of, kind of thing. And how she came out of that. So the stories are wide, as with any kind of spiritual rebirth, is that there are so many different degrees. So many of us, things, for me, myself, things happen all the time. I've been through multiple rebirths, and other people go through something so dramatic. So it's not a question of my story is not as dramatic as someone else's. It's not the point. The point is the message that you have and that you are sharing with the world. And that message, someone else is waiting for that message, because it's your experience that when they read that is igniting the light within them.
That is so beautiful. It really is beautiful because, I've been like you, I've been through multiple rebirths, but recently, in the last year, I've had one of those dramatic rebirths. And so, yes, this one, Divine Rebirth, really resonates a lot with me. Ladies, I'm going to invite Dina to tell us about Miracles Are Normal.
So Miracles Are Normal is a total different book. The subtitle is 88 Stories of Divine Interventions and Magical Manifestations. The chapters are only 800 words long. Okay, and there are 88 authors in there.
Okay, so it's a bigger group of ladies that writes it.
Much bigger group of ladies. It's a different energy of this book. It gives hope. Some people, are so used to, um, I don't even want to say used to, but so often we can discount because life is a miracle. We have miracles every day.
Definitely.
Every day life is a miracle. And the the whole aim of this book is to show that miracles are normal, that it happens every day. And so the stories are light and some are deep, some are very light, and it's just beautiful. It's one of those books, the previous book that of 88 stories of I'm So Glad You Left Me. That is it's like a binge reading book, it's like you're watching Netflix. You open it and you read a chapter and then oh, what's happening in the next one? Let me page over because the stories are so short. Um, Impactful. It's very impactful, and everyone leaves you feeling great and it's beautiful. It's very light. It's to give hope. It's to leave people with a smile on their face. They read quickly, and it's a thrill to be part of this. And the chapters are only I only charge people a publishing fee for this book, and it's only $188
Wow.
to write a chapter.
That is really a good price. So, ladies, for those of you that's listening, Dina writes or had not, she doesn't write them, but you contribute to each book, don't you?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, great. So she does write in them, to correct that statement that I made. But Dina also has these multi-author books all the time. So don't think if you're listening to this podcast episode somewhere in months to come or even years to come that there's not a book available for you to join. There is. There's always new books. She's always bringing out new multi-author books. And you have now experienced how well priced some of these books are. So you've got no excuse, ladies, to not get your story out there anymore.
Absolutely.
This is beautiful. I absolutely love the two stories or books multi-author books that you are writing or putting out into the world now and giving women a chance to join them. Like I said, your divine rebirth really speaks to me. And I know you've invited me. So I'm not going to give you a promise because this podcast is just starting and I'm still finding my feet with it. I've got so many women that wants to be interviewed that I'm a little scared to say yes to it, but there is something that's calling me. So give me some time. If not now, maybe the third time you invite me,
I will.
I can
Don't
have an
worry, I
interview.
won't forget. Because your story definitely must be in there. And of course, you can link your podcast in there.
I
People reading his story.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Well, yes, please invite me again. All right, so we've spoken about this. You've mentioned it. That you're also a quantum human design coach. How do energy alignment and self-love play into the writing and publishing journey?
Well, every book is a being. It's a being of energy. And the collective energy of every author goes into that book. And it's actually uplifting humanity.
That's
So
so
what's
beautiful.
important for every author of all of us, is often the stories that goes into these books are so deep and they are so raw and so it must be it's very important that you own the story, that you own the story and that you love yourself enough that you see the power of the story, that it's not about your human
Everything is
story
energy, and I love that
and
you mentioned that
somebody is going to
because
think bad of you because this happened to you. It's not about that. It's about the power of the story, because as I said earlier, what I've seen with human design is that you're born with that story. We come into this life 88 days before you are actually born. Your life story energy is put into your body. So there's nothing that happens that is sort of off limits. So your energy that you approach your life, especially after the transformation happened, and when you can own that and you love yourself enough that I own this, that energy gets infused in your story. And that is carried over to the person who reads your story. Because everything is energy.
Definitely. Everything is energy. And I love that you mentioned that, because the fact that your story is already implanted in your energy field and in your DNA, um, it's beautiful and it's so true. And I love to always remind women that we are not here to become someone that we are not meant to be. We are meant to remember who we are meant to be. Because like you say, it's been there. Who you are, who you're meant to be is already a part of you. You just need to remember who that is. And many of us struggle to remember who we are supposed to be. So yes, that's beautiful. And I love that you mentioned the energy that comes with loving yourself and how it has an impact on everyone that reads these books. So thank you for sharing all of that with us. It's really, really powerful. Um, my next question is, what kind of transformation have you seen in women once they told their story and become a published author?
Well, first, before we even get there, is writing your story is a transformation in itself. Even if you think that you have gone through this and you have overcome this, let me tell you, when you write your story, it brings up everything again because you have to relive it. But what's really fantastic about that is that you release it. You unrelease it. I've had my first book, and after that, so many people say, you know what, Dina, I probably saved thousands of dollars in therapy just because I wrote my story.
Oh, that is amazing.
And this one author of Success per Source, talking about owning your story, she had a very abusive relationship, actually many of them. And of course, her self-esteem was really low. And when she wrote the story, I remember in one session at that stage, I did like a 7-day writing workshop. And I was there, held the space for her. She cried so much about, the trauma and feeling so sorry for that younger self. And I had to coach her. I had to do therapy. I had to help her to bring in that younger self into her heart and to accept her and love her. So it can be very hard to do that. But let me tell you, it is a huge transformation. And that I've seen with all of them. It lights you up. It's like a light going on inside you and gives so much clarity about what it is that you do. What is your message? What are you here to do? The confidence of having written it, the confidence of I'm a best-selling author. It's huge in their business. The credibility, the visibility, and for many of them, it's a fulfilling of a dream. So many authors, I've said, I've had this dream for so many years to become a published author, and now I am one. The thrill of it is absolutely amazing. In my last book, I'm so glad you left me. One of the authors, she went to her local bookstore and they ordered the book, and there was her book next to Martha Stewart's book
Oh, wow.
on the table. She was so proud that, and some of them go and do book signings. They get together, especially if they live together, a few of them close together, and they go to a place and they have a book signing. So you can do whatever you want. And it's extremely powerful to go through that, to have that book, because, we live in such a digital world, and you can write the best blog, but the moment you press enter, the next one is there. With a book, it's to hold that book in your hand and your story is in there. It's incredible. It's an incredible accomplishment. So, yes, it opens doors. The therapy aspect is absolutely amazing, and it just creates so much momentum in their businesses and in their lives,
That
because
I
they
would
have
hear
really
these.
achieved something that is phenomenal by becoming a best-selling author.
Thank you for sharing that. It's really powerful. Very, very powerful. My next question is, what does being an elevated woman mean to you personally?
It means being an authentic leader, living her purpose, and creating love and abundance for all in harmony with the universe.
That is so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Since I started this podcast, I have learned that every single woman has got the most amazing version or idea of what being an elevated woman is to them. And I have to be honest, when I started this podcast, or this whole brand, my whole brand goes around elevated woman. I never thought that I would hear these most amazing descriptions of what it means to every single woman out there. And yours is so beautiful. So thank you so much for hearing that. Now, my next question is, how has being published or helping others get published helped elevate that identity within yourself and your clients?
When I read this question, I remembered that my second book, Success with Source, there was one lady there that was a big coach. I was thinking on myself, how can I lead this woman? Who's too big. I'm very small. I'm really barely 5 foot. And I've always felt very intimidated by big people, and especially if they are very powerful. And put on my big old panties, and I did my thing. And I was so amazingly pleasantly surprised when she gave me a review and she said what an amazing leader I am. And from that moment, I don't shy away. I don't give, if you are the Queen of England, I can help you to publish your book.
That is so nice. So beautiful. You know what? You are a small woman in body, but so big in soul and so big in your leadership. And I want to tell you, never shy away again. Don't feel intimidated by a powerful woman because, like you said, you can help them publish their book. And apart from that, you help them to find a way to heal, which is very, very powerful. So, that's beautiful. How do you see this helps your clients? How does that help them become this description of what you see an elevated woman is?
I believe in them. I absolutely believe. I believe in every person that I meet, that we have greatness. Every soul has it. And for me, it's so important to to show that to them, to show that to them. So, you know, and I think that's also why my authors like to work with me, because they come back again and again and again, work on the next book and the next book and the next book. And because I'm really honest with them. I respect them so much. I'm absolutely honest with them about their story. I will not sugarcoat it. I will not be nasty, not at all. I'm just very much kind and compassionate, and give them feedback on how to write, how to improve their story. They still go and do it. They come back again, and then I give it another read, and I, give them feedback again, whether this is lovely, thank you, this is perfect, or da 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 da. But I treat them with the respect that that everyone deserves, because they are as important. We are all so important to the cosmic plan, and everybody is beautiful. Everybody is important, and everybody should know that.
That's so true. And our collective energy needs to be there. And respect for that process and for the human beings that's in that collective energetic field is something that a true leader can see and value. So thank you so much for sharing that too. What is the one message you want to leave our listeners with today?
I want to say to them that you have greatness in you that needs to be shared. Your story is important because it's through our stories that we walk each other home.
I couldn't have said that better. That was said so beautifully. Thank you. Dina, how can someone who wants to join one of your next books as a co-author connect with you, or even if they want to write their own book, how can they connect with you and make that happen?
Okay, so that's so easy. My website is www.dinamarais.com. And when you land there, you will see on the top menu that it says there, work with me. And if you click on that, you'll see all the opportunities how you can work with me. All the programs that I have available are on there. And
Thank you so much. Are you on Instagram as well or just on Facebook?
I'm on Instagram as Coach Dina Marais, but on Facebook just as Dina Marais. And for some other reason, when I go on Facebook, I don't know what happened there, but there's a one letter, a digit one after my name. I have no idea who the other Dina Marais is, if she even exists.
Okay, so ladies, I'll put those links into the show notes for you as well, so you don't have to worry about spelling or anything like that. They're all there. They're going to be there for you. Dina, thank you so much for your wisdom, your presence, your soul-led mission. Thank you for sharing all of that with us today. Your work is such a beautiful invitation for women to rise, to be seen, and to own their stories in a deeper way. I know this conversation will land for so many women, and who those ones who's been waiting for a sign. Just maybe this was it. To everyone listening, thank you for being here. If this episode sparked something in you, and I know that it sparked something in me, so I'm sure it's going to spark something in many women listening to this episode, I invite you to follow that feeling and let your story speak. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning into Elevated Woman. If today's episode activated something in you, share it, tag me, or come say hi in the DMs. And if you're ready to go deeper, head to myraswankotze.com to grab your free gift or explore the offers aligned with your next level. Until next time, own your power, claim your wealth, and rise as the elevated woman you came here to be.